What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the B3 Podcast. I'm your host, Brett. I have multiple injuries, Matt. I have Tanner the head here. We have our show partners, Elite Nutrition. Check them out at elitenutritionomaha.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off, or go to the store in Omaha or Lincoln and yell B3.
Get a free shaker.
They're the glow-in-the-darkers.
Glow in the dark.
Got to charge them.
With the sun.
We have the condoms here from Douglas County Health and Human Services, and they had glow-in-the-dark ones for a while. And this kid grabbed some, and I was like, do you just stand outside in the sun and just say charging? So you can go inside and it glows in the dark? He didn't, though. Yeah. We also have Rosewood Block. They make the best cutting boards and barbecue. Check them out at rosewoodblock.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off there as well.
True.
Before we started this, we were talking about the election, but the ballot side of it. And I just don't understand why it has to be so confusing. Like we were talking about one of the issues here, I voted because I read something wrong. I didn't vote like bad. Like, it's fine. It's fine how it turned out. But like, I just don't know why they have to write it in like legal jargon. Write this shit for people to understand. Like, are you okay with this? Yes or no?
I think they've done a little bit better, but yeah.
Because I get, like Tanner said, you can do your research before you go in. But I always feel like when you get in that little, like, I feel like I'm hurried because I don't want to be in there forever because people are in fucking line and you're trying to like be courteous. And every time I fill in the dot, the whole fucking booth thing is shaking because they give you one of those like shitty tables. But yeah, like it's you know, it's my same issue like with congressional bills. Why can't it be one sheet of paper and just in layman's terms exactly what it is?
I think every bill should have to be less characters than the Constitution. Like the Constitution governs the entire country.
I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of words in that though, but not as many as a bill. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean it's a couple pages.
But I shouldn't have to be like a contract
single issue.
I shouldn't have to be like a contract lawyer to fucking be able to vote.
But they have to write it in like legalese. Like the official bill has to be in legalese because they're all a bunch of lawyers anyway.
Well, I know, but just for their ad, like, hey, are you cool with this? Yes
right,
or
but
no?
like what you talked about, lawyer. Like here should be, sure you have all your legal jargon, but then give me the one page like legitimate summary. Plain
yeah, give me the
like,
back of the book
this
summary.
Is what it means.
Yeah,
right? And I think it's would also be important to say this is the intent.
Yes.
Of,
yeah, because I think you trick some people sometimes. Like they don't know what they're voting for.
Well,
I mean, it's not like you're just going down the list like, I'm going to vote for so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Then it's like get in the back and you're like, this is like a fucking English project.
I often wonder if people understand, like you said, or they don't do, like when Nebraska went to $15 minimum wage, I don't think people understood exactly what was happening or what they were voting for. Because I've had so many people like, why is it $15 minimum wage? I'm like, your ass probably voted for it. Like,
well, it's like the sick leave thing that just passed.
Yeah. Like for companies under 20 people, like just so you're making small business owners require paid sick leave. Like,
and they didn't put any stipulations in it. Not like they have to work. Okay, we'll get into this one. That's fine.
Well, it's 30 for every 30 hours they get 1 hour paid.
Yeah.
Up to 40 hours.
Which paid. Okay, I get if it's like if you had someone that worked like say I think they should have made it a minimum of 20 hours a week. Because say you work 5 days a week and you work 4 hours a day. Because I get the idea was like if a parent has a sick kid or whatever, that was like their angle on this. But if you have like where most of my employees work like 5 hours a week, so they have like plenty of opportune time to, you know what I mean? And if somebody's sick, they trade shifts, whatever. But every 30 hours, I have to give them an hour of sick leave. So like every 6 weeks, I owe them an hour of sick leave.
It's just, I just don't like the bill.
I just think there should have been more like descriptions in it. It should have been more like explain like.
But now but that's the suggestion, right? But that's like that wordage isn't going to be the actual bill.
Yes. Well, it's
because they're going to add a whole bunch of shit to it, right? Because you're not going to have
on there. It has to be pretty much it.
But I think the way they got it on there was petitions. Where that's the problem is you get people like, hey, do you want to sign this petition so everyone should get sick leave? And people are like, oh yeah, I think they should. Well, but do you know what this changes? You know what I mean? Like the petition thing kind of bothers me on some things.
I don't know. It's a good way to get things. It's a good way to make sure that things should be on there.
Yeah, the people get to decide, but I think it should have like an explanation, like you were saying, like people just like, hey, do you want to sign this petition? Everybody gets sick leave. Oh, that's neat. But it wasn't like, hey, do you want to sign this petition? Like it shows that you have to work this many hours to get this sick leave, and you have to be employed this many hours per week to get. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think that they're in the last two elections, Nebraska has fucked small businesses super hard.
Well, and I don't think most people get it. And at the end of the day, as an employer, you're already taking care of your employees to a certain, like the market takes care of it, right? If I have okay, let's just say you're a small business and you're giving 80 hours a year of PTO. Well, now it's 40 because now they're going to get 40 more from sick leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
they're going to take away, like all of our employees, they get a free gym membership.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, I owe you like 10 hours of sick leave. So you can take that. So like you can either take that sick leave and bank it to pay for your membership, or
and a lot of times it ends up having a negative effect because now people are going to have, companies are going to have to pay for this sick leave, right? They're going to have to put it in their budgets. People are going to get around the end of the year, be like, oh, well, if I don't use it, it's gone. So they're just going to call in sick, which screws up shifts. Like there's a bunch of things that happen when employers are already taking care of their employees. Like, especially in a small business, most employers don't have like written policies because they don't want to be held to them. But like, if you have someone who something bad happens, like, okay, yeah, take your week out. Like, I'll just pay you. Right. But now you're not going to do that because, well, I already have to pay these 4 or 5 other people. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's just another thing that the government doesn't need to be involved in.
Yeah. Like, just stop. You know what? If sick leave's a big deal, you know what people can do? They'll just quit work. They'll just work for a place that gives them sick leave. And then these people don't get as good of employees. And if they want to compete, then they start paying. Like, that's just what happens. Like, if you are patient enough with the market will take care of it if you don't try and fuck with it.
Well, and you know what my thing is I think it discourages, like that always used to be a thing. Like I remember growing up and hearing my parents or their friends talking about like, oh, I'm going to switch to this job because they give, sick leave and they match your 401k at this and blah, blah, this and that. Or you get, health insurance. And that used to be the reason it like made you work towards getting a better job, like maybe furthering your education, whether it's a trade or it's going to school for 2 years or 4 years. Cause hey, I want to get the PTO. I want to get the stock investments. I want to get this. Well, now it's like, oh no, the state's just going to force people to fucking give it to you. So why would I ever, it's like the $15 minimum wage. Since that went into effect, it's gradually gone up. It'll be $15 in 2026 or whatever.
Yeah.
So every year you can be a shitbag employee and you get $1.50 raise every year.
But what has happened?
Do you know how great that would be when I was in high school if I could have got $1.50 fucking raise every year?
But what happened? Like a lot of times, if you were working in high school, you probably got $1.50 raise because you were doing your job.
I never got $1.50 raise.
Over the course of a year, I did.
Where the fuck did you work at?
Shit.
$1.50 over the course of a year. You start at minimum wage and then you end up like at $8. Like that's not.
I never made $8 in high school. Where did you work at?
Dairy Queen.
Dude, I worked for $5.25 was minimum wage, and by the time I left there, I made like $6.50 after like 4 years. They would give like a quarter raise.
Maybe you're just a bad employee.
No, I was this only employee. I was great. Did you get $1.50 raise, Matt? In a year?
I did when I was in college working at the moving company, but I think that's just because I wasn't smoking meth.
Well, that helps.
I showed up on time. So they're like, hey, he's not high end, he's here.
I mean, that's uncommon though to get $1.50 raise. I think.
Like 3 50-cent raises over a year is $1.50.
No, but that's still uncommon. I think
probably still uncommon.
I mean, if you think about that, that's probably because you were making probably $5.25.
Yeah,
that's like a
wage.
10% raise every time.
But yeah,
that's kind of uncommon. You must have been blowing the owner or something.
No, but
was he a former Husker player? Because you would totally blow that guy.
Yeah.
The problem is that like when you're a high performer in a low entry job, then
under promise and over deliver.
Like, but if you come in and you like do really well, like you end up like a manager, shift manager, stuff like that.
So you moved up positions?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
that's different.
That's different. Like I just worked for a mechanic, so there wasn't like it was me and him.
Positions to move.
Yeah, I went from like Blizzard maker to like manager.
Yeah, that's different.
That makes sense though.
Yes, promotion.
But if you were just like you did the same job because that's the only like. Yeah. But yeah, so.
But I'm just saying that's what entry level jobs are for, right? You start there and then you get you.
Yeah, so you worked your way up. That's different. Yeah. But I'm just saying in general, the person who's doing the same thing who smokes meth and doesn't show up on time, automatically you're like, oh hey, you've been a piece of shit all year. Guess what? You get $1.50 fucking raise.
You get a raise, and you get a raise. And
up until it tops out. Like so, it's just kind of fucking stupid. It takes away the incentive to do better.
But look, like if you go to Walmart, right? Like the Walmart on 180th, I think there's 2 cashiers. and then 97 self checkouts. Like
And
all
you
they
know what?
did.
Yeah, they just got rid of the people.
Yeah, or like if you go to like most like fast food restaurants, a lot of times you just walk up and you order on the kiosk. They just
But you know,
they
the
just
thing is,
eliminated jobs.
when I've talked to people about minimum wage, they're like, well, the companies could just take it out of their bottom line instead of raising prices. Well, how about you take it out of your bottom line? You know what I mean? Like you as the consumer, take it out of your bottom line. Why should I have to pay more? Well, why should I have to fucking pay more? I didn't vote for that.
As a business owner, you work with numbers and you make your numbers. If your cost goes up, things have to go up.
But, and you know, just like I do. And when people are like, oh, well, you know, whether it's your rent goes up and your landlord's like, we'll just raise, you can't just keep raising your prices. The buck has to stop somewhere. Because eventually there's a like a negative return.
Yep.
Like you could be like, hey, I raised the price of a jug of protein $20. But I make the same amount, but less customers come in. So that means there's less people coming to buy it because you know what I mean? You're not selling, you know what I mean? So you have that, but you can't, the answer isn't always just like raise the price. Like it needs to start from the top down, some of it.
But what has happened to like fast food sales have gone down a ton because it's gotten so freaking expensive.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you can't eat, like a family of 4 running through Chick-fil-A is like $60.
And I mean, Chick-fil-A is good though.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, no, it is. I mean, well, yeah. Like we were talking, me and firefighter Jeff were talking about the dollar menu at McDonald's. And it might still be there. Is it the $1.50 menu now?
Probably $5 menu.
Sure.
But remember, it used to be the dollar menuware commercial.
Yeah.
But you could go there for like $5 and get fucking full.
Yeah.
Like when we were trying to gain weight, $5 get like 3 McChickens, 2 McDoubles, fucking out the door. Now it's like, we can get you 1 McDouble with like a couple of French fries.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wish they would write the legal jargon a little better. Which takes me to my next fucking point. I got my Cox cable bill, and Cox is the worst company in the entire fucking world. And
Their CenturyLink is right
No,
up there
Cox
with
is the worst, especially for business.
yeah, this gets better.
Oh, for business maybe. Yeah.
Well, and I don't know about personal because I haven't looked into it because I don't have them at home anymore. Because the day I was able to get rid of them, it was the greatest day of my life. So I got my fucking bill for the gym, and it went up $52 in 1 month
Wow.
just on the TV side. I don't have anything special. I'm not a bar. Like I don't have to pay extra for TVs or whatever, which I think that's stupid too, that they make them pay extra for bars because they can make money off of it.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, all right, my fucking TV was like $140 for cable, for basic fucking cable. Because it's a corporate account, which, you know, I asked him, I said, what's the difference? Well, you get better customer service. You don't. It's fucking still shit. So I call, because I knew my contract was almost up because they raised my price before. I called and the lady's like, well, you're still under contract. And I go, how is that fucking possible? She's like, well, it gets over whatever date. I don't remember because
Then how did you raise the price if it's under contract?
well, your promotion, you know. So I was like, well, it doesn't matter. When my contract's up, I'll just fucking get rid of them, right? So she gave me some promotional deal that took it from it took it down like $30. Like 3 months later, they just raised their prices in general. So it took my price up, whatever. However, this all worked out. Anyway, now it's up like $50 more. So I was like, well, I'm just going to call the cancellation part and just get rid of them, at least for TV. Because anybody out there, YouTube TV and Hulu are a million times better than Cox, and they're like a fucking third of the price. And yeah, if you want regular TV, they're great. Cox is fucking trash. I wouldn't buy anything from them if I didn't have to. So I call him and I go, hey, when's my contract up? Oh, let me look. He puts me on hold for like 5 minutes. First of all, I'm like, is this not on your screen? Comes back. Well, your contract just renewed in October. I said, well, I didn't sign anything. Oh, in 2015, when you signed up for this promotion, you agreed that it would auto renew every year. You know the part that you don't read on the bottom? Yeah. He goes, oh, it auto renews every year. I go, you don't have to notify me? No. And I said, this is like the scumbaggest shit I've ever seen. I said, and I assume you, like many of the fucking dish companies, are hemorrhaging business, and I hope you fucking go out of business. And he goes, well, do you want to cancel? I go, what's it going to cost me? So they have to prorate. He goes, it'll be $1,100 for you to cancel. Because it just restarted. I'm like, so you'd rather have a dissatisfied customer who's going to do like I'm doing right now, tell everyone in the fucking world what a shitbag company you
Did
are.
you cancel for next year?
Well, so I go, he goes, do you want to cancel? I said, no, I think this is like super fucked up. I said, I want to look into my fucking legality of this, if this is legit, before I'm going to give you anything. And And he's like, okay, I can send you the contract. He's like, anything else? And I was like, no. He's like, have a good day. I just like hung up. Like he wasn't even done talking. I was like, you're a fucking dirtbag. And that company's a shithole. The fact that you put that in there, and you know what? As much of a shithole as California is, they have the property tax law where you can only charge them based on what you buy your house. And in California, an auto renewal, they have to notify you 30 days before the auto renewal.
Yeah, this is normal.
I'm like, and I don't have any kind of grace period. Like, hey, you have like up to 30 days after the auto renewal to cancel. Nope. So I opened the contract, read it. It's like super fucking small on there. Like, oh, when you agree to this, you agree to automatic renewal.
And
like,
one kidney.
For like the rest of your fucking life. So I'm looking around. Of course, Nebraska has 0 laws about automatic renewal contracts. So I was like, all right, I'm going to wait till I'm like not super pissed. Because it's when you never get like really mad and you get a headache. Because you're so fucking mad. I'm like, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to call the salespeople when it's closer. I'm going to pay my bill and just see if they'll give me a fucking deal. Be very nice. And then if they do, I'll say, great, thank you. And then, by the way, cancel my fucking service because you're a shitbag company and you are terrible humans. And I hope your whole fucking company burns down. That's super shit. You know, and the reason I know that I have a client of mine who works for one of the companies that does all the, like they send out the billing for like Dish Network. And he always tells me, he's like, every quarter, like Dish Network just like fucking hemorrhages customers. Like it's so fucking terrible. Oh, the best part, when I'm talking to that guy on the phone, I forgot. I go, dude, YouTube TV is half the price of you. Do you know what his answer was? Well, they're internet based and we're hardwired. And I go, I know. Everyone has the internet.
I can get it from space.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just like,
Do you have space internet?
yeah, he's got Elon.
How's it work?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Is
not
it
bad.
pretty good or is it awesome?
I mean, it's really, I haven't had
Oh, I thought maybe you had problems with it. You said it's pretty good. But
the only knock I have on it is that it does pollute the sky for like the visual effect because there's a bunch of satellites up there. That was honestly my biggest holdout to it is that all the satellites kind of fuck up the astronomy and like looking at stars and stuff. Just 'cause it was
oh, are you a big stargazer?
I do. I super like the stars.
I do too, but are you a big stargazer?
Yeah.
When you're just smoking fucking raccoons outside?
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
like my biggest opposition. I was like, well, I can't have CenturyLink anymore because they're the devil. So Starlink it is.
Any problems with signal when it's like storms
I
or
haven't had-
rainy?
Yeah.
Well, we've had no rain. Well, we did finally. Like finally.
this
We've
but
had like a week of rain.
Not with this.
Is it out? It's outside.
and you have, well, just people, you have Starlink.
Yeah.
Yeah, so people are wondering, so you have Starlink.
So you
Yeah,
have
that's
Starlink
freaking
and you
cool.
just get like
And
an
what
app
do
on
you
your
what do you
phone.
pay
It's $120 a month.
for?
Internet?
No, but don't you have a certain amount of data or no?
No,
No, it's just
it's
one,
unlimited.
It's just one plan. Like,
Oh, it is?
yeah.
Okay. I thought it was like because those old HughesNet satellites, you had like
yeah.
so much data you paid for.
It's unlimited. And so, do you get the portable one with that too, or do you have to get that
you
separate?
can. I just have the home based one. I think you can take the home based one with you
Yeah,
because
you
it's
can.
just. I mean, they make a smaller one. So
Yeah.
the one I have is, I don't know, a little bit bigger than this cutting board, and just mounts on the roof. And so you get an app on your phone, and you just point it, and it's like, "Yep, you want your satellite to face here," and you're like, "All right, cool." And then once you do that, you get your satellite set up, and then you sync them up, and you're like, and it'll tell you, "Up a little bit more, a little bit more." All right, good. And then that's
So Rogan was talking. He was like in fucking BFE, Utah, and he had the little portable one, and just like set it up, and like 10 people were using it.
Yeah.
There were like there's nothing around.
yeah, you just totally fine. 'Cause, yeah, so you just need to be able to get it aligned right if you're out somewhere. So you either have to have something on your phone or some way to know where to.
I remember
point it
DirecTV used to be like that, where you could call up that screen and then turn it, and it would tell you like
Yeah.
where your signal was at.
So you just need to get it aligned, but like once, you can use it wherever.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody wants to get rid of Cox because they're the shittiest company in the world, you have Starlink. If you were option,
Verizon.
I have Verizon internet and at my house, and it is phenomenal. Yeah, and YouTube TV, Hulu, and I used to have Hulu, and I only switched because with Verizon internet, sometimes it picks up a different tower. In Hulu, thought you changed your location. Well, they only give you so many location changes a year. So I got online and people were like, well, with YouTube TV, you don't each have to confirm your location through your app. And then that's because like with Hulu, I'd have to call them if it happened twice, you'd have to call them. Well, sometimes like our Verizon internet will come for, it's weird to say like we're in like Norfolk or something like that. You know what I mean? Off the tower, which is super weird because I have a tower like right down from my house. But yeah, if anybody that works at Cox is listening to this, tell them your boss that he's a scumbag. I just don't know. And I've had it before, like when they first came out with their all home DVR thing, with the whatever, it was multiple room. And I had a problem with them then. And I thought, how does a company not care so much? Like the customer service, they don't care. And I go, well, what if I cancel? Like, oh, well. And I'm like, you're not some kind of dynasty that can't fall.
They don't. Like, Cox is the absolute worst about
I've never seen I've never dealt with a company who does not care as much as Cox Cable does not care. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And like, oh, well, we'll give you this discount. Well, why do you take it away? Just keep it. You have to be losing people left and right. I have Verizon Internet, and I pay $35 a month for 200 meg download, and I game with it. And obviously, after Mr. fucking Brain Trust let me know that, YouTube TV is internet. But we stream everything, and I've never had a problem with like slow. And it comes in like a little cube, and that's your router and everything. And I run my Simply Safe cameras. I run everything on that.
I have fucking Windstream, and I can fucking stream. Like, all we do is stream in the house.
And like Allo's like hammering through Omaha right now too.
Oh, if you have the chance to get on Allo, that is good.
And they came right through my yard, but dude, it's tough with $35 a month with a 10-year price guarantee with Verizon. And I know some places in Omaha don't have it. I think you can get T-Mobile in Omaha. A few places has that area too.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying,
in our location, we either have CenturyLink or Starlink. That's all we can get.
But thank God for Elon. Now you have an option.
Starlink, it's pretty much.
Yeah. And
the setup is expensive. To get all the hardware is like $400, $500.
Yeah, but it's yours.
Yeah, but it's yours, and so you own it. So like if you want to get rid of it, you could sell your stuff off, and it's fine. Setup's super easy. The new system
they're doing a phone one.
A phone one.
They're doing it like through like they're going direct to cell on one of their updates coming down. Elon was talking about.
That'd be all right.
So what's that mean? You just use your phone as like a hotspot?
No, I think you can actually use the satellite with your phone. Like if you're in like super remote areas, like if you're a Starlink.
I think the last iPhone update, have you noticed you can do like satellite?
Yeah.
If you don't have service, it'll switch to satellite. So I don't know. Yeah. Because I texted a friend of mine this weekend and they were in like a non-cell area and they replied and it said replied via like satellite.
Yeah. So you can do that now with Apple.
Which I haven't looked. Do they actually connect to a satellite? I haven't looked to see. Like,
I think it's on the 16.
Did it turn your phone into a satellite phone then? Because I know some preppers who have like satellite phones.
Yeah, but I think the Starlink thing is like if you're like you can have the app or whatever, and it'll just like they're going direct to cell, so you can text. You can't stream.
You can text, but you can text.
You can stream low. You can stream. He said you'll be able to stream low quality video, like not like HD stuff.
Yeah. Andy Stumpf was just talking about it. He was out hunting somewhere and was able to text through his phone via Starlink. So you can.
But did he set up the mobile one? Didn't he have the mobile one?
He has the mobile one that he brings now too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Technology's.
So and that's where I think shitty companies like that, and I try not to wish bad juju on bad companies because I don't want that karma to come around. But like, if you're just going to constantly be a company who doesn't give a fuck about people, it's going to come back around to you.
Right.
And either they're going to fall apart or they're going to get bought up or whatever, and a bunch of people are going to fuck it. So if you work at Cox, like, you should try to make it a better company because you don't want to lose your job.
So back in the early 2010s, Samsung and LG came into the U.S. with appliances, and I owned an appliance service company. And Samsung was big, and I knew they were going to be big. So I was like, yes, we'll do your work. All their call centers were not here. So they had to do email addresses. And whenever they did, and I still laughed after years of seeing it, it would be cocks.net. It's how it would come in on when they generated the call and it dispatched to us. It would be like Steve at cocks.net. I'm like, don't think it's how you spell it.
Did you reply back to suck at?
But no matter how many times it came through, I laughed every time.
100%.
Yeah, it's like laughing at farts. They're still funny.
Farts. Yeah. My poop
Oh,
story.
yeah, you had a poop story last week to tell me.
Oh my God, this was a great one. It had been a while. So I'm out rucking early morning and I take off. I get probably like 15 minutes down the road and I'm like, ooh, my tummy is grumbling. That's fine. We'll make it. So we go down to the river. We're on our way back. We're cutting through the woods and I'm like, uh-oh. And so it's building up and I'm like, all right, Yurik, dude, we got to fucking go. So we're rucking. We're kind of hoofing it kind of quick. And I realize my shoe's untied and I'm like, okay, I got to tie my shoe. Apparently just the pressure of me bending over to tie my shoe, like pushed out any room that I had left. Like I farted and then immediately I could feel poop in my butthole. And I'm like, oh no. And so I'm just frozen standing there in Hummel Park on this trail going, am I going to poop myself right now? I take a couple steps. Nope. Got to shit. Hold on. We're going to calm it down. Goes down a little bit. I'm like, nope, fuck. There's no way I can make it home. I'm like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? I'm going to have to shit in the woods.
You don't pack teepee at this point? The many times as you have weird shit stories.
I do now. So I have it in my bag. But I'm like, I got to poop. I'm like, what am I going to wipe with? I'm like, I can't take my socks off. The ground's all muddy and gross and shit. And I'm like, wow, I have a shirt, but I don't have a sweatshirt on. So I guess I just wipe my ass with my t-shirt. So I pull my pants down and put my back against a tree and kind of like air chair it.
Yeah.
And just fucking explode shit all over the ground. Didn't get on my feet though.
I was going to say, was it on the back of your shoe?
No.
It
Sure.
was, yes, I did. Yes. Cause Aaron was like, you shit all over yourself, didn't you? And I was like, nope, looked at my shoes. It was fine. But so I get done doing that and I'm like, well, fuck, I probably should have taken my shirt off before I took a dump. So I'm leaning against this tree so I don't just like smear poop between my butt cheeks. Take my shirt off.
You didn't rip it up?
No, I was just getting rid of
You
the whole
fold
thing.
it over, yeah.
Just, wipe, fold. And then I was just like, oh, I don't want to take this thing back with me. So I just set it on top.
What shirt was it, by the way?
It was a shirt I got from, I think, CHI.
Oh, okay. It wasn't a good Omaha Barbell shirt. That's good. Whew.
So then I had probably another 20, 25 minutes to get home. And so I'm walking through the woods at, 6 in the morning.
Just shirtless like a fucking hobo.
Shirtless with a dog in a backpack and a headlamp.
I bet you look so majestic.
Yeah, but I went back to pick up the shirt because I was like, well, someone might be able to tile it back to like the fire department because it was like an EMS shirt. But it was gone.
Some fucking hobo probably picked it up and
Maybe.
went to put it on and he was like, this smells less shitty than the one I'm wearing.
Yeah. So it worked though. I pooped in the woods.
Some animal took it,
Yeah, maybe.
rolled in it.
Oh yeah, somebody's dog is just rolling around in this shit shirt.
Hopefully, just bringing back the shirt. Like, oh, look what he found out there. That's cool.
Yeah.
God, he stinks. Yeah, so that was ucky, but it could have been a lot worse. But still ucky.
Well,
There's something about like walking in the morning just jostles everything loose.
What is
Yeah,
that?
why don't you like?
I
Can't you
can't
like?
poop before. I've tried.
What's that on Kingpin? I don't know what it is about sex. It makes me have to crap.
Yeah, I've tried to take a shit before. It doesn't.
I mean, stay on effort. I said that 10-minute walk gets your fucking digestion going.
Yeah, but I can't take a shit before I go, and then I'm like, well, fuck it. So I just hit the road.
There you go.
Most of the time it's fine. That time it was not.
No shit your pants.
Well, that really beats my yelling at the Cox guy story.
Yeah.
But
So
the
pooped in the woods. That was neat.
the moral of this whole thing is, Cox is terrible.
And take TP with you.
Take TP with you if you have a shitting problem.
Yeah.
And we got
Before you vote, do research and maybe write yourself a little cheat sheet.
write yourself a little. Get out your
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. I had one other thing that I wanted to bring up. Mostly for you, Tanner, so you can feel special.
Okay.
So I started the 75 hard thing again.
We announced it for you last week.
Okay, thanks.
Did you listen?
No.
You're a real Chris.
Yeah.
Being a real Chris about it.
I've not yet. I have it flagged and saved. It's in the queue. So I started that, and the thing that I found interesting thus far is, so I started when I weighed in, whatever it was that Friday morning.
What's your weight now versus when you got past 75 hard the first time?
So I finished it. When I finished it, I was 308. I weighed in at 323 this time. I was at like 308 to 315 for a long time, and then when I tore my bicep this summer, it was kind of like, fuck this, fuck that. I'm just gonna have fun. So my weight went up, but weighed in 323-ish and something on day one. This morning, weighed in and was like 324 and a half, despite starting off with the same calories that I ended 75 hard with before, and adding the rucking and adding, that's not intense weight training, but just like doing something to get back. And like my body weights remain the same, which I expected it to stay for a little bit because like you're adding a ton of water to the system. I started.
Was that post shit in the woods?
No, that was, well, I mean, yeah, I shit in the woods before I started 75 hard.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've just found it interesting. I'm assuming that it's something's going on with my body. It's like, what the fuck is happening, Matt? Like, you're not drinking a bunch of beer, you're not eating a bunch of shit food, and now you're moving.
I would guess you're eating better and you're holding some of that water
Probably.
in your muscles.
Yeah,
You're pretty muscly, so I bet that's it.
No.
that was just interesting.
You'll probably have some like weird thing and you'll weigh yourself and you'll be like 10 pounds down.
Right.
So you're like, what the fuck happened?
That's what I expected. Like the first few days to be like about the same.
Remember, every 10 pounds is a quarter inch on your cock.
You might be able to see it eventually.
See? You get it.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else?
I should have peed before we started.
Yeah, but we're done, so it's fine. I have to pee too.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, educate yourself out there. Try to be a little less shitty every day. Tell Cox to suck a fat dick. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Maybe Cox will listen to this and they'll call me and be like, hey, sir, we're going to help you out.
Tag him. When
Oh, I'm going to.
They'll probably send you a cease and desist letter.
I feel like I'm not the only person. All right, guys. Like, subscribe, share, follow. We appreciate you listening. We'll see you next time.